Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Opposite Field Outlook. I am now your host. I stole the job. I am Neil. This is my friend Andrew.
Sup?
And that is Jack.
I'm
who
Jack.
just showed up.
This
Jack.
is the first time I've ever been introduced on this podcast.
First time your
Breaking
name's been
news.
said early.
Breaking news, I've given up my position as host.
How has your month and a half or whatever been?
It's been great. A lot of interesting things happened. No baseball, though. Just a lot of baseball-related
true.
activities. You know,
That's
the winter
facts.
meetings, Bob Nightingale spreading false information,
Arson judge.
arson judge from John Heyman.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
things
7
have been
minutes.
getting real interesting, and we're gonna break it all down for you. I think we're gonna start off with free agents and their contracts that they've been getting.
Yep.
Insane.
If I leave out any that you want to go over, by all
mention
means, mention them after
Break it down.
after we go
Yeah.
through all of them.
Sounds good.
So let's talk about some contracts that I would rate as bad for the teams. Like all of
Okay.
these contracts are mostly good for the players. Most of the players got what they wanted
Yeah,
and
I'd
more.
say.
So really, what
player
we're looking at
off-season.
is will this benefit the teams in the long term if that's what they signed
We'll
them
see.
for. Matt Carpenter went to the Padres this morning, right? That was this morning.
Yes.
Um,
Very recent.
Yes. 1 year. Sorry, I assumed I would have my laptop, and I don't. I had to use it for recording, so I'm gonna be a little slow. Matt Carpenter, 1 year, $12 million. Good or a bad deal for
That's
the
a
Padres?
bad deal.
That is definitely a bad deal. That's an aging man right there.
That's what I'm saying.
How much money did he
And-
get paid last year? He got paid like
2 mil. I think.
fringe. It
Very,
was like
very cheap. I think
Yeah.
it was the Cardinals paying him 2 mil, and then the Yankees took him.
like a couple
That's a
thousand.
very cheap contract.
Terrible.
Now he's being paid 10 mil more than his subpar performance. Obviously, he went off with the Yankees.
He's
but that
gonna
was the
suck
smallest
next year.
sample size ever.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, this is the most hype train signing I've ever seen in my life.
That's
and
true.
It's gonna age very poorly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's Eric Hosmer's short-term idea where he's just traded instantly and halfway through the season or something.
His batting average was in the 300 range. His expected batting average per Baseball Savant was only 231.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
really, it was just a bunch of hits that
played
got
really
lucky and got past defenders.
He was playing in a little league stadium. What can you say?
Exactly.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
That's what happens. He's gonna suck. He's gonna get traded to the Dodgers, and he's gonna become an all-star.
I really don't know about that one.
Yeah,
he seems
that's-
like the kind of player that the Dodgers wouldn't take because
Yeah.
they know better.
Yeah, that's facts.
So really, his statistics were mid throughout this year. He just got some lucky balls through the defense, which gave him a nice batting average and a nice salary. Feels good if you're Matt Carpenter, though.
Oh yeah. You
How old is
stole
he?
From the Padres.
He's like 30
Yeah,
something.
he's ancient. He's like 85
I
or
don't
something.
know.
38. No way. Hold on.
No, he's definitely on the decline. He's been with. I mean, he's a Cardinals legend, but
Cardinals legend for sure, but
37.
That's
He's
it.
37.
Yeah, 37. He
There's
will be
no way you
38
give out
very
$12
soon.
million to a 37-year-old. That's free candy. But anyways,
Yeah.
Padres keep Padres.
next one I have on this list, on the bad contract, Cody Bellinger goes to the Cubs.
Oh my god.
And if the Dodgers' elite development staff can't get Cody Bellinger back on track, the Cubs are not going to do
Cubs
it.
have no hope.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers didn't have much faith. So
Wait, it was 20
we
million?
did- yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he got 1 year, $20
It's-
million,
I
right?
find
thought it
it
was like
very
17
hilarious because this man who hit 200 with absolutely no pop, I think he could have walked up with a pool noodle to the plate, but he had nothing going for him, and this man made 20 million, which is way more than any of
Terrible.
these other good players. GD Martinez has a pretty good
11
bat, and
million.
that man made half
Yeah.
of what Cody Bellinger's
So-
being paid right now. So I don't know, man.
How much did he get
It's
paid
just
last year?
insane. I think 16, 18. It was in the teens.
So he got a pay raise for being worse. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
'cause
sense.
It's the Cubs, and I don't know what they're doing over there, but
The
they're
Cubs
gonna-
are
they just want
lost right now.
seats.
The Cubs are
it's
just
gonna
want
be
more
very,
seats.
very funny.
Yeah.
When, I mean, I know they might have an easier division.
He batted .210 with 19 home runs, 68 RBI, and a .654 OPS.
He doesn't know what he's doing at the plate,
Yeah.
and I wanted him back, but it was gonna be for that. So
We'll see.
Yeah.
bring my jersey.
I mean, we don't need to talk
I
about
should
this one
do
that
it.
much because it's he's been getting worse, and he
Yeah.
just got a huge deal, and he's just gonna
Yeah.
keep getting worse. It's there's not a lot of
This might be his last chance to really.
there.
He's betting on himself. That's why he did a 1-year deal. But it's
Mhm.
gonna be very funny when betting on himself only gets him
Yeah, who
a
knows?
mil more.
Exactly.
Uh, Yeah, he had a great season in 2017, and he's still collecting the benefits from it. It's
Still.
wild.
Somehow.
Next on my list is Brandon Nimmo. He went to the Met, or he re-signed with the
Re-signed
Mets.
with the Mets.
8-year, 162 million, 20.25 million average annual value. I think this is a bad deal for the Mets.
I do too.
Really?
I think that Brandon Nimmo is decent,
He had a really good year this
He
year.
had a really good
That
year
was
this
really
year.
good.
Yeah. He definitely did.
but 8 years is a long time,
And he's 29
Yeah.
years old.
like a really long time.
I
And
think-
he's old. He's not young right now, and he's not going to get younger.
He will not. I think this will age poorly.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying.
I
definitely
think this will probably be a good payout.
Till he's
if it was,
37.
like half this. Even if you did 6 years, I think it would have been less of a bad contract for the later ones. But like 8 years, man, this is gonna like be one of those Matt Carpenter contracts where he's just like a little kind of aged and like it's like what's the point of this man at the point of like that 8th year? So
It
yeah,
would make a little more sense to me if the Mets were one of those teams that like rebuilds, because then they can just eat the rest of the contract and be bad for the last 4 years and be okay with that. But like the way
Yeah.
that they're spending money right now, it really does not seem like that's the case. So I don't really know what the Mets were doing with that one. They have made some other decent moves though. I will say that. In the bad contract category, I also have Trey Turner's contract for the Phillies.
Whoa, really?
Let's see. What was it?
11.
How much?
11-year, 300 million, average annual value 27 million.
I would agree with that because he's a really mobile player. He's a really fast player. He's gonna be like that for like let's say half the contract, 5 years.
Yeah.
After that, he's literally gonna be a shell of himself. They're probably gonna make him like DH or something, and I don't think it's gonna work out.
Seems to be the theme of this offseason.
Right.
Like middle-aged shorts, not
Exactly.
middle-aged because they're like 25,
Yeah,
but like
mid-career age, I guess.
mid-career shortstops getting huge contracts for long durations.
11,300. Jeez. How do the Phillies still have money?
I don't know.
Because they're the
Crazy.
So we're gonna go over this later, but there's a little secret that the baseball owners don't want you to know, and that's that they make so
Yeah.
much money. It's unbelievable.
Steve Cohen.
Yeah, and I mean maybe this is good for the Phillies. Like I think they're pushing to win next year, and so this signing achieves that.
This is it.
I think this makes a lot of sense for them.
It does,
And
for
like
sure.
he wasn't gonna take anything less than this.
No.
So you kind of had to give him this if you want to win now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just throw $6 million. I bet the Dodgers did that and they didn't get him.
I would've-
6 years, $6 million.
Yeah.
Take
they
it or leave it.
They
Yeah.
probably did like a 6-year something, and he was just like, "No, I'm getting 11 here. Bye." So,
I would have expected one of those more like perennially competitive teams like the Yankees. I mean, the Mets are setting up to be one of those. The
Yeah.
Dodgers. I mean, those teams that are just always in the race. But
Yep.
I think, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a bad signing, but like obviously that can definitely change over the years when this.
It'll
man's, like,
age poorly.
I
Right
think it
now,
will.
it's
in a
good
wheelchair
signing.
at the plate. You know.
27 for Trey Turner's pretty good.
Yeah, I think his
Right
swing
now.
will age well, but like the speed will drop off. His glove has just been kind of mid
Yep.
to pretty low par. So
I mean, he is one of the
We'll
better
see.
players in the game at the plate right now.
Exactly.
At the
So
plate, yeah.
we'll see.
next contract on the bad list. This is the last contract on the bad list. Michael Lorenzen goes to the Tigers.
That's
I don't know
funny.
why
What was the
anyone
deal?
would sign him.
That was really funny.
It was a little bit
It was
silly.
a year.
8.5.
for
1 year, 8.5.
mil.
I
That's
don't know.
like
It's whatever.
That's like average player salary, and Lorenzen
Yeah.
is not an average player.
He
He's
is
worse.
not.
So
That's just a funny contract. I mean, I know they paid another starting pitcher, forget his name, like earlier, and then like that kind of went to crap because he like wasn't even there for a good part of the year.
Yeah.
So that contract makes 0 sense. Yeah, my mom manages his finances, so I'm gonna ask him what's going on over there. It just makes 0 sense.
hey,
Like,
he wanted to collect the
stole
bag.
that.
He collected the bag.
Really,
I
really
commend Lorenzen for that one.
he
But the
somehow
Tigers,
got away with that one.
I don't know. Who knows what the Tigers are doing right now?
Literally.
They just have so many bad contracts between Javi Baez
Yeah.
and like all
Dude,
this stuff.
that guy fell off. Like,
Yeah, no, he did.
incredibly.
I
That was
don't know.
tough for them. I'm not gonna lie. That
But at
was a
the
good
same-
signing for them, and
It
then
was.
they just
They
ruined
had
At
it.
the
them.
same time, they have good players that just weren't there last year,
Yeah.
and like
They
50% they messed up, but like 50% like I feel bad because like a lot of the players should have been good and they just weren't there. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? So.
Yeah, we did have them ranked pretty highly in the preseason.
Yeah.
We had them
So-
like 3.
I had
in
them
that
third.
AO Central, yeah. 'Cause
And we had the
thought
Central being competitive too. Like
we thought the prospects
Yeah.
were gonna be good.
We thought it was there, but Tigers proved it wasn't, and this proves it isn't either. With Michael
so,
Lorenzen on them.
Lorenzen is going to continue to bring the Tigers down. Now, here's a big questionable contract for me. Jacob DeGrom goes to the
Oh.
Rangers.
Oh yeah.
That's a big question mark
Yeah,
for
that
me.
is.
How long was it?
It was 5 years.
Oh, and he's
100
37.
37
okay.
annual average
37
value.
a
So,
year.
I don't know about that.
He's
The best pitcher in baseball.
Best pitcher in
he's
baseball.
the best pitcher
at
in
37.
baseball. The thing is, he's the best for like half of the season because he's not there for the other
But-
half of the season.
This year, he was there for most of the season.
Most of
He
the
was
season.
there for most,
and he
and
pitched really well.
he did go really good. So the contract makes sense. I mean, someone was gonna pay him this.
Yep.
It's
But
definitely,
we'll see.
it's not one of those contracts where you're like, what are they doing? Like, you know, the
Yeah,
Lorenzen
no, it
contract
makes
where we're like,
sense.
what are the Tigers doing? It's understandable. It's just they're flipping a coin with this one, and if it works, they're gonna go to the World Series, and if it doesn't, then they're gonna be the worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the Mets were at least gonna give him this. I don't know why it didn't really go through.
Yeah, he's kind of good. So the Mets not going after him, especially with all their money, is like,
I feel like
It's a big
maybe he
loss.
just didn't want to stay. I don't know why, but
Maybe he saw the writing on the wall. Maybe he saw that the Mets actually won't win the World Series because the Dodgers are
Yeah.
in the same league.
this is
so
like some Corey Seager.
just went to a
vibes.
different league.
Why you
Yeah.
leaving? Why
The
you
Rangers
leaving us?
Rangers are gonna be a little bit better, I think.
Rangers are
They
gonna be
have
a little bit
prospects
worse.
and
They're
all
gonna
that.
now
They could
be
be 2
like
maybe?
500, in my opinion.
2 in the
Yeah, they
AL
might.
West, maybe 2, 3. They were 3
3
last
probably.
year. Yeah.
That was a good sign.
Oh yeah, Mariners. You're
Mariners are good still.
Yeah,
So Jacob
they're gonna
DeGrom
be too.
is by far the best
Wild
pitcher
card,
in baseball when he's
hopefully.
out there. They have hopes. They definitely have hopes
They
of
do.
getting a wild card spot,
They
but
have
I
hopes and
don't.
aspirations, but
I feel like they're not
Couple
likely
more
to get
years.
that wild card spot.
yeah, they're not gonna get the wild card because there's freaking the
a lot
AL
of teams.
East
A lot of teams.
that are definitely at least take one of those spots.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Or all
two.
3. We'll see.
Yeah.
Next up on my questionable, I have Dansby Swanson, which I know that it's very similar in structure to the other shortstops contracts, but I feel like he's been mega consistent.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably consistent, and it's also the shortest of the super shortstops.
Yeah.
How
contract.
old is he?
I don't know.
He's like in his high 20s, I believe, which makes this quite a good contract in my opinion.
Let's
the thing
see.
is, he's only had
28.
one of
So
these.
till 35, which isn't bad.
He's only had one of these crazy like good years, which was last year.
Yep.
And even-
No, offensively. I mean.
Even before then, he's just been
He's been okay.
He's been solid.
No,
for him.
yes, consistently good. He just hasn't been like these other shortstop levels
Yep.
up until now. But glove wise, like better than Turner. You know, like I think they're getting a lot out of him, and like because it's the Cubs, they have a lot of holes.
The
Yeah.
Cubs
This-
do have a lot
This
of holes.
feels a lot. So
I really
I like it.
I mean, I know that the Cody Bellinger trade is horrendous and whatnot, but I like what the Cubs are cooking. Like it.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
definitely
they
puts
got
them
players.
in a better position
I like
than they
3
were.
out of 4 of their
Yeah.
off-season moves.
Brad Boxberger.
I
I'm a
don't
big
know
fan.
why he's there.
I didn't even see they got Tyon. That's a good deal.
They did
Tyon
get
is a
him.
good deal for them for sure.
But yeah, I mean,
Maybe they can
obviously I
replace
would have
Marcus
wanted
Stroman.
Swanson, but like this just makes sense for the Cubs, and his wife probably coerced him into playing.
Yeah,
anyway,
literally.
so makes sense.
How it happened. If you signed with the Dodgers, I swear.
Next questionable contract, JD Martinez to the Dodgers.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
I
are
guess
your
that's
thoughts?
questionable.
I think it's a good deal. All he does is rake, and it's a 1-year deal. Okay. He's like 30. He's 30, mid 30s. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna talk
It's a
about the
good deal.
Dodgers, I gotta bring this up. Look at the years for every
Yeah,
contract.
1 year.
That's what they do. That's what the
Something-
Dodgers do.
Something's like okay, yeah, 1 year, but like Dodgers do offer some longer contracts sometimes, and it's just
They're few and
interesting
far
with this.
between, though.
This
35.
1 year, it's just a little interesting. But yeah, 10 years. I mean, JD's definitely worth more than 10 years.
Let's see it.
Because he's only had like
a fake year for the Dodgers. Maybe they're like signing these guys that they're not really planning on keeping because they want the prospects to come up. So they're just gonna use this year to get their prospects
get
going in
by.
the major leagues.
Yep.
They're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna go like 95 wins, which is oh my god, 95 wins. The Dodgers, that's awful.
I'm suffocating.
Yeah.
But then the prospects will have experience, and the next year all these guys will be gone, except Clayton Kershaw will be a Dodger forever. They're going to sign him on 1 year deals until he dies. That's a good deal. I have that one in the good deals category.
Yeah, I think that's good. 10 mil. I mean, he could have gotten like 16 probably in somewhere else.
15,
He's only had
16,
like
yeah.
one bad year.
Yeah,
Which was last year. So
And
we'll see.
I don't know. The Dodgers development is like crazy.
He'll get back. He'll get.
There's
It's
solid
like a Matt
chance,
Kemp
but-
signing. Okay,
Yep.
he's gonna come back.
They
I
could
like
develop him
that.
back for a little bit.
Yeah, and this team, all they needed in the playoffs was a couple home run hitters. We got one right there. So we'll see
Yes,
at the trade
sir.
deadline. Keep adding. That's what's gonna
He's
happen.
gotta hit
I
the
have
ground
2
running.
Angels contracts.
Mm.
And
As
the
you should,
questionables.
because it's the Angels.
They're all questionable.
They're all questionable, but I'm talking mostly like the super significant ones. Like Hunter Renfroe is probably like I don't think we need to talk about that. I think he's gonna be good
He'll
for
be
the
fine.
Angels.
Yeah.
Like it's
He's Mike Trout 2.0. He's
yeah,
Walmart.
he's decent and he's an outfielder and we need an outfielder, so that'll be fine. Carlos Estevez,
Yeah.
What team do you play for again?
I don't know,
Brewers, right?
probably.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a big name team, I don't think.
Yeah, that one's an interesting move because our pitching development has been kind of
Oh.
middle tier, and he's not had the greatest career ERA.
Exactly.
So, my question is, do we think he's gonna get better, or are the Angels once again settling for being mid? And the answer is clear: the Angels are once again settling for being mid.
It's a very mid signing, in my opinion.
Yep.
All these are yeah.
I don't know. I mean, last time they got a closer, he just kind of left
Yep.
Well,
because they wanted some return. So
yeah. I mean, our last guy gave up a 3-run home run to the A's and then just was never good again. Like he was elite.
yeah. Then he went to the Braves and
Yeah.
like was very good.
played really well.
You know.
Maybe it's just an Angels issue.
You know
it wasn't
how,
even an Angels issue. He was good with us for like 4 years, and then he just
Yeah.
gave up this
Yeah.
one home run to the A's, and
You
that
know-
set our season on fire. We lost 14 games, and he was never good again. And Mike Trout got injured, and Anthony Rendon was already
It's a butterfly
injured 'cause
effect.
You know, Noah Syndergaard saying the Dodgers, everything they touch turns to gold.
Yep.
Yeah, King Midas.
it's the opposite.
Like,
for
what's the
Angels.
opposite of King Midas? That's what
That's
the
the
Angels got
Angels.
for pitching. They just
Yeah.
kind of like downgrade everything. It's weird.
We bring in these big names, and they come to Anaheim, and they're just awful.
Yeah, like,
Crazy.
they just kind of like rust it up and like dirty it a little bit. It's no
The only
longer
guy
as
who
good.
hasn't been affected by that is Mike Trout,
Trout.
and
That's so
Shohei Ohtani.
facts.
But Shohei Ohtani is just better than everyone else in the majors, so it's like fine.
It's
Yeah.
because both of those guys are their own like training staff.
That's what I'm saying.
don't
is,
need
like
help.
the
They
don't
Angels,
go to
the Angels
practice.
don't even
They
talk to those
do
guys.
their own thing.
The
Literally.
dog on the move. Buddy, come here.
Let's get Buddy up in here.
Buddy, come here.
You want it?
Buddy.
Oh,
The dog will be coming shortly. Buddy, come here. Another questionable contract is Gio Urshela, who is mid, and now he's coming to Anaheim, and he's older, and he's coming to Anaheim.
Is he? I thought he was pretty young.
Well, he's older now than he was last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, surprising.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works.
That
Let's
is how
see.
it works.
But
Oh, shoot. I thought he was like 26.
No, he's
He's
not.
old, yeah. Yeah. Older.
he's getting up there in age.
So
It's fine, I guess.
this was one of those signings that Artie Moreno makes to like make the Angels fans hope
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to fill a hole.
to sell Gio Urshela jerseys.
He's gonna be probably short.
Probably, yeah. Shortstop or second base.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Who's the Angels starting shortstop?
Our starting shortstop. I don't know who our
Fletch
starting
sometimes?
shortstop will be.
Fletch?
David Fletcher is
He's second
traditionally
base,
plays
right?
second base.
Yeah, he's there sometimes.
It might be Luis Rengifo. Luis Rengifo kind of had a breakout year. He was like kind
Rengifo.
of decent. So.
Kind of.
Yeah, he was good for Angel
fugitive.
standards.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
a fugitive. He wants to play for Team
Yeah, the
Venezuela. He's gonna
fugitive.
get arrested when he goes back there. So
Hey guys, I'm here to play. Wear their handcuffs.
what?
the Gio Urshela
Wait,
move
wait,
was
wait,
made
Let me
preemptively
tell you
by the
something.
Angels for when Rendon is injured,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Urshela will just go to third base where he lives, and then
that's facts. They just need a replacement for the Rendon injuries.
yep,
Pretty much. That's a very Angel signing.
Yeah,
Real.
I don't know. I think he'll like platoon with short and third.
yep.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. I mean, there's like
Fine.
kind of low risk, high reward in my opinion for this.
I don't think there's high reward. I think it's low risk, low reward. Like
but he
they
could
signed.
be really good.
Oh,
You know?
shoot.
Maybe.
exactly. What's that?
Joey Gallo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wowie Wallow.
That's his.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
instantly going to
That's
rake.
him.
He's going to become Nelson Cruz 2.0.
He's just happy that one team actually accepted him
like,
for,
yeah.
for a moment.
Someone wants me? Let's go. Yeah. Wish the Dodgers were signing him. It's all good.
Any other mid trades?
Another questionable, Aaron Judge. The man has not been healthy, but he has been the best hitter in baseball.
Yes.
For a year.
It's the same thing as DeGrom,
Yeah. Literally same situation.
but for hitting.
Yeah.
What was it, an 11-year deal?
No, 9.
Okay.
It was
Every
9,
Yankees
3.
fan I've talked to since the deal has gone through says it's a great deal, and they are so happy. So,
Right. I think
We'll
it
see.
appeases the fans who don't want him to go. And he gets the bag after taking a little bit of a discount
Yeah.
to play for the team that he's kind of like learned to love. In
Yep.
a love-hate relationship, you know?
Thick and thin, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they booed him during the playoffs. Even
Exactly.
Though even though he broke the American League record for home runs.
Literally.
it's a love-hate relationship. So,
Those Yankees fans are something else.
from his perspective, he's like found a home and he got like a good bag and he's happy. So I
Got
think
it.
it
Yep.
appeases everyone. It's just it might not appease the team when he is injured or something.
2 years.
Yeah. When he has a career-ending
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
Injury.
Comes the next Bobby Padilla.
Split it
One of
up.
my little
split
brother
the payment
shoots
for
in
30
Dodger
years.
Stadium.
Yeah.
That's Chris Davis.
Okay, great deals. Kershaw,
Great deal. Yeah.
That's a really
all-time
good deal.
great, stays on the Dodgers for
Uh-huh.
way
Pretty
less than he
cheap.
probably should.
Yeah, he's giving us a discount.
And we
he's
know
just
he's
like-
gonna get injured.
Yeah,
But
but
some
when
point.
he's healthy,
he's
he
gonna
plays
miss like
well.
3 weeks during the season.
Yeah.
and
him
that's
getting
fine.
injured is basically our mental like game of like, oh, okay, so we'll have a
We just
prospect
warm
come
up.
up and
Yeah,
just
exactly,
test them
yeah.
out for a little bit,
Happens
and
every
then
year.
And
they get
it's-
their little like free
It just
trial.
works for the Dodgers.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah.
They have
It's like
unlimited depth, so Clayton Kershaw gets injured, and instead of having the first best starting pitcher in the league, they have the 6th best starting
Yeah.
pitcher
Yeah.
in the league out there.
Clayton Kershaw getting injured is actually just like a benefit for
Just
the
a-
Dodgers because they get to like let some sort of minor leaguer come up and like get his little shot for a minute and like
It's just
see
a-
how good he is, and then he goes back. And,
I also
it's all
have
good.
Noah Syndergaard in this category.
I would
it's an
agree, too.
amazing.
It's cheap.
We fleeced.
How much did
Noah,
the Angels sign
not
him
gonna
last year?
lie.
It's like,
It was
20, something like that.
something like that.
20 or
Nice.
20.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
way better.
But we basically fleeced Noah. Not gonna lie, Thor's like,
Yeah.
in town, and it's been pretty good. He, like watching interviews, he says he's feeling a lot better in terms of like what he's doing. He feels a little more comfortable with like just kind of releasing the ball, and he might even like top out at 100 or reach that point in the season.
His velo was building all year.
Yeah,
It
like
started at like 91, and by the end he was throwing 98.
Yeah,
in the
I think he
playoffs.
babied himself a little bit because he was just a little scared to re-aggravate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he feels a little loose. And then the Dodgers, basically, King Midas, like that thing's just gonna,
Yeah.
he's gonna take off. I
Gonna
think
play
that's
well.
like
That's
it's
our
a
Tyler
sneaky
Anderson replacement.
number like 4 pitcher right there that we got, and I think like we basically have an underrated top 5 like rotation.
We really do.
You know what I'm saying?
Like every year.
And
Out
Noah
of any
Syndergaard, like SoCal,
rotation.
like all the Angels fans were like,
Yeah.
would you consider coming back to the Angels? And he's like, yeah, SoCal is great. I love it here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's dope.
instead, he went to
the
a
other
team where he can be in
The
SoCal
varsity
and
team.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to the varsity version of the Angels.
he got promoted. Yeah, I mean that's like literally just completes the 1 through 5.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
I'm
So-
perfectly fine with that.
Yeah,
Maybe
really
one more
nice deal
fielder
for
or
the
something
Dodgers,
like
for
that,
sure.
but then I'd be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. I really
Yeah.
like it.
Just let the kids play. And the Dodgers won the World Series.
It's just like that. It's
Yep.
easy as pie.
Next deal that I have on really good is Wilson Contreras. Goes to the
that's
Cardinals.
really good.
Really good for the Cardinals.
Really bad for
Yachty-
the Cubs fans. but
Yachty's
really
gone.
good for the Cardinals.
Wilson,
That's a discount. That is a good deal.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy deal.
I think that's a little bit of a discount, considering how good his bat is. His defense is like the most mid/subpar thing I've ever seen. But like,
But he's a catcher who hits.
exactly like
A lot of teams have catchers who are mid at defense and don't hit. I'm talking
Yeah.
Max Stassi.
He's like almost the exact same or better Will Smith. Like just
Yep.
rakes and then like defense like you catch. The ball
Yeah.
goes to your glove sometimes and you're all good. So I think this is an amazing like.
Great deal.
He said he doesn't want to be like it to be this way, but he's basically like the Yachty replacement. He's gonna like
Yep.
Pretty
kind
much.
of take the shoes.
It's a
and-
good deal.
Yeah, it's a good replacement when your Hall of Fame catcher retires, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's definitely a nice piece for the Cardinals, and
Mhm.
they're
Like
still
what
going to
they're
be
doing.
competitive because Wayno did not retire.
Yeah.
I think this team
And he
got
played
better
well.
because
Yeah,
Yagi
I think
was
they think they got better for
defense,
sure.
and then a little offense, pretty much nothing, and then this is the other way around, and that team needs offense.
Yeah.
So this
That's
kind
all
of
they were
fills a
lacking.
bit of a hole. Yeah, they're lacking offense.
And they have pitchers too. Who's that one pitcher who's out for the entire year? Flaherty. They have Flaherty
Well,
coming back.
okay.
That's true.
Flaherty's a little bit of a question mark for me
Yeah.
still. He came back in the
is.
middle of the season, and then he had an 8 ERA in 4 starts, and then he got injured again. But,
Yeah.
like maybe they just took him off because he was like, they
Not
didn't
as
want to
good.
get
Yeah,
wrecked.
they thought something was wrong. But I mean, there's a good
He's
chance
been
that
good.
he comes back good
Mhm.
because that happens a lot where you come back where you're just not quite there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they got other prospects too. So
And
Mhm.
the
Be a
man
good
has
year.
all off season to keep working. So
Yeah, they had like a near no hitter with Michaelis or something.
yeah.
yeah,
just
it
like
went
that
down
was
to the
Mike
last
last
out.
strike.
Yeah.
Like last pitch. So last strike. It was. This team's ready.
Oh, I have a fun
That's
fact about no hitters. There was one pitcher who threw his own no hitter last year, and it was Reed Detmers of the Angels.
Everything else was.
It was all combined.
or something.
Really? Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of strange. The Angels are the strangest team in baseball for sure.
That's very strange. I remember like what was it 2020 or something when there was like so many no hitters.
Yeah,
All of a sudden it was like so confusing. Like 60 games had like more no hitters than this year.
Oh yeah.
It was so whack.
Justin Verlander to the Mets.
That's a good deal.
Good deal for the Mets.
Let's see.
Justin Verlander's elite.
Gotta find it. Here it is.
Yeah, you gotta
Too many names.
43 million though. It's a lot.
Yeah, this is literally
That's a
just the
lot.
Max Scherzer deal.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Pretty
copy
much.
paste for JB. We're moving a year because he's old.
We all thought JB
Older.
was going to be bad
Astro.
because he came
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
Tommy John, and
No
he was
one saw
just
this
better.
coming.
He just had a career year.
Better.
And
The only man who saw this coming was like Gavin
Yeah.
because
I don't
he's
know
just a
how he
legend.
did that. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
he
was
did
like,
that.
oh, JB's got this. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? No, when he made
No
the
one thought
video,
that.
like, yeah, I'm going to Tommy John. I'm like, dude, you're
Your
gone.
career's
You know,
over.
Why go do Tommy John when you
Exactly.
can just retire? Like, you're.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and I'm like, what? And he made more money.
Pitch
I'm like,
better.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
Insanity.
Literally insane.
It's crazy. He's
And,
like
go
yeah, that
ahead.
entire rotation, Scherzer and Verlander and
Yeah,
the
the whole
rest of
two.
the peanut gallery, like dinosaurs. Okay.
Kodai
So,
Senga.
we'll
and
see.
all these players, like, they sound a lot.
Senga's been good. That's
Yeah.
I like that
Yep.
more than the Verlander deal, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, this rotation's good.
Yeah.
Is it better than last year's?
It's
Maybe a
I'd
little
say
bit.
so.
Maybe a little
I
bit.
mean,
Yeah.
Verlander
It's-
is the least
comparable.
injured player in history.
yeah.
Like his
you're right.
only injury
Except
was his
for
Tommy John
last year.
surgery,
Yeah.
and that's Tommy
Even
John.
Tommy
like,
John
he
can't
just-
keep this man down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And he wants to be with the Mets. He wants to win. Turn down the Yanks for a reason. He likes
Mets are
this.
cursed though. Mets will never win the World Series.
Never.
He likes this team, and it's gonna be really funny when he loses and him and Scherzer cry
Yeah.
in the locker
Yeah.
room. But yeah, this is good for him, and I think this is a good contract. If
I
you're
also
Steve
have
Cohen.
Jose Quintana.
Ooh,
Oh, they got Quintana too. Oh,
That's a good- that's a good one.
That's not a good offseason.
I think that's a good pick for the Mets.
yeah, he's like a 4.
13 million.
right?
He's
Or
a, he's a
five.
4 or
Four.
5 guy for
Yeah.
him.
and he
he's,
eats
It's fun.
innings.
He's solid.
he's really solid.
And
he
he
also-
also 13 a year.
Does not suffer a lot of injuries. Like he
No.
was injured
Yeah.
last year a little bit, but before that, it's
He's
not
been
really been an
consistent.
issue for him.
Yep.
After we say that he's gonna have a career-ending injury or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would happen.
Just curse
No, but
everyone.
he is reliable and he's an innings eater, bro. He'll eat for you
And he's only getting 13
That's
mil a
it.
year, so
Yeah.
like
Chump
that's
change.
pretty cheap. Not that the Mets care about what's cheap,
Yeah.
because
Bro, they'd pay him 50. It don't matter. They just
Yeah.
want him.
yeah, if they want someone, they're getting it. Like it's that simple.
He's mine.
I mean, yeah, this guy's been pretty solid for him overall, and they got him for cheap, so that's a nice deal for the Mets.
Yeah, no, I do
Wait.
like that one. That's a good back end deal.
I think the Anthony Rizzo deal is pretty solid for the Yankees, which is a controversial take I think I have.
Oh no, that is a good. I don't know
Let's
who
see.
can deny that. That's a really good
9.
contract.
Oh, I was like,
Maybe the years you could argue because he might be getting old, but like
that's fine. That's a good deal.
he's just such a smart hitter up at the plate. Like he knows what he's doing, and he had like what, 20, 30. What was his home run count?
I don't know.
It was about that.
It was high for a guy.
was pretty
who's,
high.
You know, aging. Like it's like he's just like a better Matt Carpenter
Yep.
who actually plays
Honestly,
first
yeah.
base and like has a good OPS and like 800s. And
He's
good.
33.
The third year is a club option, so that's why I think this is even better. Because let's say
Yep.
he's really old in that third year. Oh, I
For
don't want
sure.
to pay you. You know, we deny your option and then renegotiate or he's gone. Like,
30.
He had
32 home
32
runs.
home runs last year.
yeah, for
And you
him,
know what's
like, it's
crazy?
amazing. What?
Anthony Rizzo is consistently a league leader in a hit by pitch.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, that
That
gets your
helps
on
out
base
things.
percentage up, baby.
He gets the on base. His on base is way up because he just gets hit more than
Yeah.
any other player.
He does kind of creep up on that plate the way
That's
he just kind of
true.
stands tall. Like he doesn't kind
He
of
stands
slouch or
right
anything.
on
He
the
literally
inside
stands
line.
kind of upright, right on the line.
He got hit 23 times last year.
Damn,
Solid.
that's a lot. But yeah, I mean for 17, that's borderline steal. You know, he probably maybe deserves another mil or two for the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally
He had a
does.
couple of mid years after
Yeah.
2019, and last year he had an 818 OPS, which is like solid, and I think the Yankees will profit.
Yeah, he's just an above average
Exactly.
hitter, and that's what you get for above average.
Who else is on here? Carlos Rodon to the Yankees.
That's such a good signing. I want
Yeah.
him so bad.
I know.
I
Rodon
was
is
saying
elite.
before the offseason
Yep.
even started.
You pay Carlos Rodon.
Yeah,
And he
no,
got
you
paid.
do because he.
Any
That's-
deal that ends with you getting Carlos Rodon is a good deal.
Yep.
Yeah, any deal. He had a no hitter and has been elite in the past 2 years.
And the Giants
like-
thought they were gonna get him for 8 years, but
Yeah,
guess
he had a
what?
near perfect game in the past 2
No,
years.
really.
Like this man is just
He's really good.
like okay, no hitter, like that's good. You have good defense. Perfect game, like that's just the pitcher being absolutely
On fire.
elite. Like,
Yep.
are you kidding me? No walks, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This man is like so good, and with the Giants, he was amazing. Like no one really heavily pursued him, just because it's been 1 year, and then you
Yeah.
see that year, it's like, dude, this guy's gonna repeat it every
Better
year,
get him.
and you sign him, and this is like what the Yankees need.
Good offseason
They need
for sure.
to replace some of the kind of weaker starting pitching that was kind of falling off.
Yeah.
Like, towards the end of the year, they were good at the beginning, but the pitching
Didn't
kind
he
of fell
have
off.
a long deal with the Giants? But he
It
had
was
like
8 years on a
it
clause.
was like
yeah.
8 years, but there was a clause in there that said if you reach this number of innings in a year, you just get an opt out after the year.
Wait,
over.
really?
And he
Yes.
just like hit
Yeah.
that amount of innings in the
Uh-huh.
first year,
I
and
could
he
have
just
sworn it was
opted
a
out.
1 year. Really?
No,
it
it,
ended up-
It was an 8 years long contract.
Carlos Rodon, Giants contract. I love being on my phone. This is really fun.
No way. Is that true?
It was 2 year, 2 year 44.
Huh.
Okay, that sounds.
I thought it was longer.
No, I knew it was a short contract. I thought it was 1. I mean, 2 still makes sense. But yeah, no, he had a shorter contract, which I knew was kind of like almost kind of like a test run, and like the Giants were gonna get a lot out of him. But I didn't know if they made it where if you hit that, then you're out. Or you get the ability to.
He
be
got
out.
so many innings, and then he was just out. Like
Yeah.
See ya.
Nah, honestly, they should have like been like, "Oh, you're injured. We can't
Yeah,
start
yeah.
you."
Just shut him down.
For like with 2 starts, and then you save a little bit. No, I mean the Yankees need this. This is really good. I think in my opinion, a lot of people are saying like you got to get better than last year, and Judge didn't do that. But I think signing Rodon makes you better.
They got better.
than last year, and like more competitive in the postseason. So I can officially say like the Yankees aren't just like as
Some
good as they were
cupcake
last year.
team,
This
yeah.
is good. Like they had a good offseason.
They're better.
So Rodon kind of solidified that they passed what they were last year.
Yeah.
So the last really good deal I have on here is Carlos Correa to the Giants, and I don't mean that the Giants will win because they have Carlos Correa. I just think Carlos Correa will provide the Giants more value than they paid him for, even though they're just like slapping a Band-Aid on somebody who got shot in the chest. Like they had a
Yeah.
tough year last year. None of the pieces were working, and they signed Carlos Correa to fix all that. And
And he
I
can't
don't think
pitch.
I
So
don't think it's gonna do
It
much.
fixes the aging issue. Like
Slight
Crawford is
little-
like old, and he's becoming like that dude who like needs to turn into a statue in right field
Yeah.
because he shouldn't be on the field for too much longer. So this kind of fixes that issue, and they're just kind of an aging team. I think like you got to start addressing like first base and all these
Yeah.
other positions.
hit
But
the reset button.
yeah, I think this is very good for them. Not many people saw it coming exactly to like the Giants.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money, and like I think it's good for the guy he was in 2021. This is kind of more of a pay for 2021 because he wasn't like this much good. Like if he just had this year, last year, and like that's all you had to judge off, I don't think he'd be earning exactly 35 mil a year.
No. Yeah.
So you're kind of
Yeah.
paying for what he was, but I think he's gonna bounce back next year because he had a little bit of injury last year. I was noticing, so I
Yeah.
think this is good for them. I think it might age bad though later on, like the whole Trey Turner
We'll see.
issue because like that's 10 years. So, but I mean it's better than the Trey Turner deal in terms of like he's a younger guy right now.
Yep.
And he's
So-
been consistent throughout his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
For the
Especially
most
with
part.
the Astros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm stoked for this because he's the ultimate Dodgers villain. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Going
yeah.
from the Astros to the Giants. I think he knew what he was doing. He said, yeah, let's piss off the entirety of the LA fan base and
Yeah.
let's go sign with the arch rivals.
Like, why sign with them when
Right?
you can go
Literally.
make them mad
Go
and
against
sign
it.
with their enemy?
I don't even think he
Since,
thought
like,
he was going to sign with the Dodgers.
19
The
1800
Dodgers
was
straight
not.
out said we're not gonna sign.
Yeah,
this
they
guy."
should have
so,
said
yeah.
it.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, if you don't want me, then you're a rival.
Fine.
I'll go with them.
Yeah.
I think it's very funny, and
It is.
It's gonna be so good.
I'm
like
so
those
hyped.
games, because like I went to a Twins game and it was loud. Like, what's it gonna be like when we go to a Giants game
Giants, Dodgers,
and
yeah.
he's there? Because there's more
Exactly.
fans for a Giants game than a Twins game.
Yep.
Exactly.
So
And all those games are tight. Like, out of any rival, like, I know Red Sox, Yankees, like, sometimes, like, their games are a little bit, like, kinda
one-sided
whatever.
and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then Dodgers, Giants, they're always tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. they've been
Despite the
competitive.
roster. It doesn't matter if the Giants just suck. They're always going to find a way to creep back in.
Exactly.
That's why it's
'cause They
good.
just play harder against us.
Yep.
It's like the Angels and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They just try more when
Pretty
it's us.
much.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Angels own the Dodgers, unfortunately. Just
That's
as the Ducks are
facts.
gonna own the Kings tonight.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah,
We'll
the,
see
the,
about
Duck,
that.
the Ducks have 2 regulation wins. I don't think we're winning today.
You going to the game?
No,
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that's why
Yeah.
you dripped out.
no. I just wanted to be a Ducks fan for the day. I haven't watched any hockey games this season so far, so I'm kind of. I want to watch this one, but we're going out to dinner,
Just 'cause.
so like,
Ask
I'll
the
watch
waiter
the
to put it
back,
on.
the bottom
Yeah.
half. Any other deals that you guys really think
gotta
are
talk about-
interesting?
Gotta talk
Xander
about that one.
Bogaerts.
Yeah.
Gotta talk about Xander.
I didn't
Um,
know. I don't know what this one's gonna do.
Yeah, Xander gets 11 years, 280. That's about 25 mil a year. That's like every offseason / trade deadline, they've just kind of made more, and you've literally heard the owner say like, we're building a team to beat the Dodgers. Like, they're not just saying
Yep.
they want to build a good team. They're building a
wanna
team
beat
to
us.
beat the Dodgers, and I
That's
think that's
cute.
what these moves. They're like statements, like, oh, look
Yep.
what we got. So that's definitely what this is. They're just kind of like flexing their financial power every single year because they just sign another and crazy like
4-time
long
All-Star.
contract.
Xander Bogaerts' sliders look pretty good on the Savant
Mhm.
percentile rating.
Let's see.
Surprised that
He's good.
Juan Soto hasn't been extended yet. But I think it's because he thinks he can get more because of his down season.
Yeah.
So I think he's waiting
Yeah.
to play another season before he signs because he knows he's gonna get a smaller bag right now because he had
A trash.
like not a bad season, but he
For
like
his.
was lower than what
Yes.
you'd expect.
Yeah,
from
he had
him.
he had a significantly above average season, but it was the worst
Trash for
season
him.
of Juan
of his
Soto's
career.
career.
So I think the only reason he hasn't been signed is because he wants the bag, and he's not gonna quite get it yet. So also Padres get Seth Lugo. That just solidifies it even more.
He's
Yeah,
really
the
solid
fan.
on.
Padres are scary.
They are good, and Xander, for the like position and the depth, I don't know. Like, do you think
Where's he
like,
gonna
Tatis
fit?
center?
Tatis is going to the outfield.
You think
I feel.
You think he'll want it though? I don't know if we'll see.
he won't
does,
want
Tatis-
that?
does,
see.
does Tatis want to play baseball?
Yeah,
Good
Like
point.
the man's been riding motorcycles
yeah.
and doing drugs, and I don't know if he's like.
user on user.
I know that he's.
Yep.
I know that he wants to play baseball, but I
Does
don't
he
know if
really
he's like
want to
in
play
it.
baseball?
In it.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I think after like this long, he's just basically like I just want to get in the game, man. Like whatever
Yeah.
it takes
Yeah,
to
true.
get to play a game in a Padres uniform, like just get me there. And I think he's kind of desperate. So I think playing in center, he'll just kind of suck up to it because he's like,
Yep.
I have no leverage at this point. Like I've kind of
No.
like not been on your team for a year.
Mhm.
So I think he's gonna like be willing to move to center because like what's his leverage? So
Nothing.
and Xander's
Yeah.
spot is short. His defense is kind of mid, so you can always DH him maybe.
Yeah, you
can
could.
DH him, and then
You have Kim.
Kim's there.
Yeah.
Kim's not gonna play short because there's just too many other options
True,
for
yeah. They
short.
have a lot
That
of
Kim's
guys.
got to play like second or something. But yeah, I think it's between Xander and Tatis. You either DH Xander, Tatis short, or Tatis goes center, which makes more sense because looking at that outfield, it's like
Yeah.
you got Juan Soto. What else? Like they got the
got
Dodgers
Tatis.
situation. You got a good right fielder, and then what? you know.
Yeah.
So.
Tatis has the range, so he could make a decent center fielder.
Mhm. Yeah, but I think that's a good contract of
Mhm.
note. Sean Manaea
Trash.
went somewhere. He went to the Giants for $2 and $25 for mil. I think that's like not the great signing.
Not the best.
No,
that they
I think
want.
the Giants are just gonna keep bleeding. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jock
Like,
Peterson getting the qualifying offer is strange to me.
yeah, he's good. I don't know if 19 and a half is it. Like, that's more than
Dude, the
What's his name?
qualifying offer is gonna be off the rails next year.
yeah, it's gonna be insane. And you're
I
not
didn't
gonna
even think about
people are
that.
gonna lose all these. Well, when you do the qualifying offer and then someone else takes them, you get that pick. But like, there's gonna be no like draft picks earned because
Oh,
no
yeah.
one's gonna want to qualify anyone. So
Wait, how do you do the qualifying offer? Isn't it like the
Hmm?
how do they calculate the qualifying offer?
oh,
again?
for
Isn't it,
calculations, I'm not quite sure, but I know it has to do with the.
it's definitely
It's
like
like your
making so
salary and
many-
then like what you do, right?
Yeah, it's something to do with the actual salaries themselves. It's
So
not
your,
just like
your salary stays the same.
I don't think it's predetermined per year.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it has to do with like the actual money
yeah.
that's used.
That's wild. Oh my god. The qualifying offer is the mean salary of the league's 125 highest paid players.
Yeah, see, look,
So
it's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be like 50
that's
mil.
with the contract.
That's ridiculous.
It's definitely going up. I'd say. I mean, this man isn't better than Anthony Rizzo at the plate,
No.
and
Yep.
he's getting paid more than Anthony Rizzo, so it's not the best, in my opinion. Yeah, it's gonna be in like the 25, maybe even
close to that.
next year. So it's gonna be insane. Sean Manaea's not it. That's not your Rodon
Like
replacement.
guy throws beach balls, he's gonna get lit up.
Yeah, you're paying.
Especially with the Padres and the Dodgers.
Sean Manaea and Ross Stripling combined
Yeah.
are basically what you were paying Rodon like a year, and I don't think those make up for Rodon.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little short.
And maybe Rodon wanted out. Maybe
Yeah, I don't think he like saw any potential there, and he like got
There
bored of
is
not
no
competing.
potential there.
Zero.
He got bored of like not competing at all. So, yeah, I think I guess it's a signing to fill a hole for the Giants because they really don't have anyone else to take that spot, in my opinion.
I also think the D-backs could be on the rise.
The D-backs are on the rise because of prospects.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I think they're
D-backs didn't make
Maybe
moves, but they're gonna
sneaky.
be up there for
they
sure.
will be sneaky.
They have a chance
Mhm.
in a wild card this year, I
Mhm.
believe.
They do. And
They
it'd
have
be
two elite
insane
pitchers.
if they do.
They got the prospects. Kyle Lewis, I like that. That's a good deal.
Yeah,
It was like
really good.
700,000. Like that's freaking
Yeah, they're
steal.
stealing him, and he was
Steal.
a previous rookie
Rookie of the year. Yep.
which I mean he hasn't lived up to that in the past
No.
2 years, but like, and it was COVID
We'll see.
that 1 year, but I mean he has potential.
Arizona
So,
always has a decent team.
yeah, they take players, and
Yep.
sometimes they turn out good if they let them. do their
Except
thing.
they don't always have a decent team because
Yeah.
they were the worst team in baseball 2 years
Also
ago.
that.
Right,
Yeah.
but they have been decent.
They had like 88 wins. They had like no. It was like
60
68
and-
wins.
Yeah.
Which means they're close to being 500.
Yep. They're
So-
working on
and
it.
when you're around 500, you're close to the
Mhm.
wild card. So,
Yeah.
I think Taiwan was a competitive.
That's a good deal.
Like he's never been that great, but like I think he's a good 4 or 5 eatings in there. You know?
3 or 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was that much of an overpay. Especially
That's
when you're
fine.
the Phillies and you got money. So that one made sense to me. I think it was pretty good. I don't know, but like I think if you were gonna do that, like Zach Eflin was probably like
Yeah, the
as
best.
your best
good, and
bet.
that would have made more sense. So, but I think they just lost out on him because the Rays decided to pay him like way more than he deserved for some reason.
Yeah, true.
The Braves got Nick Anderson. That's just
Oh
kind of
yeah,
a side
the
piece.
catcher shuffle that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Braves
the
and
three-way
A's.
trade that basically like the A's just absolutely like buried their head in the sand for and just said, yeah, I'll give you whatever you want. Just let me know who you want.
A's are clowning, bro.
Yeah.
They basically
I thought
signed.
the Angels were gonna be the worst in the division, and then the A's struck again.
Yeah, they gave everyone. They gave both teams a blank check and said, "What do you want?" And then like, "I'll give
Yep.
you whatever you
Who did
want."
the A's get back?
Like
God.
nothing. Like probably, I think they got a relief pitcher who has yet to like kind of define himself. He's in the minors, and then they have like a couple other players who are just not quite like.
So they gave up Sean
not
Murphy for
proven.
basically nothing.
Let's see.
Yeah, they got prospects that like
All right.
they'd have to turn around pretty greatly,
So William Contreras went to the Brewers.
which is I think more of a steal than Sean Murphy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he was elite hitting last year.
And he's really young.
A's got outfield Esteury Ruiz,
Mm-hmm.
number 8 prospect from the Brewers. They got catcher Manny Pena from the Braves. Never heard of him. Left-hand pitcher Kyle Muller.
He's probably like the biggest prospect they got.
Braves number
Number
1
one.
prospect.
Oh.
Mhm.
All right.
Right-hand pitcher Freddie Tarnok from the Braves. Number 6 prospect.
They got a bunch of high prospects.
Roy
Keep in mind-
Salinas from the Braves. Number 18 prospect.
None of these guys are top 100 in MLB.
Yep.
That's true.
They're all just topping the
Yeah.
Brewers farm system, which
Braves
is
are looking
you know.
like the Angels now.
So, yes, you got like the best of a team, but like, what if the best of the team is like the worst of
Trash.
MLB?
Yeah.
So, not saying that was the case, but like, you didn't really get that much. Just gonna say that you just got a bunch of people to fill in holes. So, yeah, I don't
Nationals made some irrelevant moves.
Doesn't
that
know.
don't
Yeah,
matter.
don't even. They literally just filled in.
They're
holes.
just waiting
That's
to
like
get
the most
sold.
irrelevant thing ever, and it was sad to watch. But yeah, I don't see too much else. Oh, the Red
I
Sox.
like-
They're just doing some weird stuff.
I don't know what the Red
Chris
Sox
Martin.
are doing.
I don't get it. They signed
Yeah,
some bullpen,
They're just trying to stay relevant.
but they lost like
They lost all their
Xander.
good guys. Like, they
So-
just let all their good guys run away. And
It all started with Mookie Betts, man. Rays got Zach Eflin, which is good. I don't know why they paid him so much, but they got him.
Yeah.
I like Adam Frazier.
Oh, and the
to
Blue
Orioles.
Jays. They didn't do much, but they got Chris Bassett.
That's a good
and
deal.
They traded Teoscar, and they replaced him with Kevin Kiermaier, which is, I think,
Solid.
better because all Teoscar was really a defensive
Yeah.
guy who was just mid at hitting, and they got a way better defensive guy who's also pretty subpar at hitting. So
Yep.
this makes a lot of
That's
sense.
a good deal.
This just basically is the Blue Jays' exact same team, but like a little better. So I
I'm
think the Blue
talking
Jays will
about
be
the
competitive.
Yankees.
I think they'll be like a wild card or win division. So good for them.
Yeah, I'm not as high on the.
Oh,
the
Twins
Blue
got
Jays as
Velasquez
last
because
year.
he's a pretty top catcher.
You don't have
in
the-
offense.
You don't have the Blue Jays winning the World Series this year?
Nope.
Not this
Yeah,
time.
not this time.
I think Velasquez is a top catcher. I forget. Did he do good on the Astros or no?
He played
Vasquez
pretty good.
is fine.
Yeah.
That's
He's
good.
a middle
Okay.
of the road catcher.
Well,
He's
I-
a guy that you want on your team if you don't have a
15.
Will Smith
Yeah.
or a
Yeah, makes sense. I
Better than
think
a Martin
he's
Maldonado.
yeah.
interesting because you got Gary Sanchez, but he's kind of aging back there. So yeah, I think
Good.
I
Good.
think Vasquez
replacement.
was fine. 3 years, whatever. Benintendi to the White Sox.
I like
What do
the
you guys
White
think about
Sox
that?
moves.
Yeah,
White Sox,
they
Maybe
win the
they're
World Series
better.
this year.
they're not winning the World Series this year, bro.
Does
They
it
made
make sense,
7
though?
over the Dodgers.
I think they do better if they get a good coach. You know what I'm saying?
Manager.
Yeah, like
You mean
good
if Tony La
manager
Russa
there.
is not their manager?
Yeah, which he isn't.
is-
you
but
mean
they
the
gotta
White
get a good
Sox
one.
would have beat the Dodgers in 7 if
If
Tony La
Tony La
Russa
Russa-
wasn't their
yeah.
manager?
Not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying they would have won the division and then maybe lost to the Yankees, like how the
I-
Guardians did.
I still think the Guardians are gonna win that.
Oh yeah, then the Guardians with
Yeah.
Josh Bell.
Yeah,
Good
I think
signing.
the White Sox are kind of done now. Like, I think they had their I think
have
they
their little
mounted
window.
some players to
Mhm.
and made a nice little window for themselves, and then like their manager
Yeah.
fell asleep in the dugout every game, and then that was it.
I think if the White Sox were like a prospect in and of itself, they've like peaked in their potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and they just got to kind of match that
Cody
90
Bellinger.
wins
Yeah, literally Cody
potential.
Bellinger.
Season.
Cody
Yeah.
Bellinger is the team.
Literally. So Josh Bell was a good signing for the Guardians. Didn't think they'd spend
They
a
just
dollar.
need hitters. They got the pitching.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Astros basically just kept themselves with Abreu. They like got a first baseman replacement.
That's fine.
Astros remain the best team in the American League.
Yeah, that's so facts. So the Astros are gonna be good, is what we've learned. And oh yeah, and then Ty Dog Anderson got quite the bag.
That's fine.
That's
thing I
a
can talk
bad
about.
deal.
That's gonna age poorly because you know
Probably.
reverse King Midas and all that.
He's been bad like every other team except the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean you need Dodgers like
Yeah.
And
King
he got,
Midas
didn't he get
touch.
injured on the Dodgers? Like,
I
didn't he
think
like
he did.
strain his forearm for like 4 weeks or something? I
A
feel
little
like
bit,
that
yeah.
just
He
gets
got
worse
injured for a little
when
bit.
you go to the Angels.
for a little bit.
Like
And
players like Mike
then-
Trout
oh.
like have a minor calf strain and miss
They're out.
miss
Yeah.
2 months.
months.
And then I think the Rangers solidified their rotation with Heaney because then they got Heaney,
He's kind of also a little
Heaney,
mid.
Perez. And
Yeah.
But that like at least
He
they
had a good year last
they
year.
do things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they don't have to like call up a prospect starting pitcher and hope
That's
that
true.
like,
Yeah.
hey, today's your first start because we don't have a starting pitcher to pitch. Like
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good now with those three, and then they just have like 2 fillers.
Jack
Angels
Leiter.
remain in
so-
4th
Ooh.
place. Yeah, they
Yep.
have some good pitching prospects coming
Mhm.
up. Good
I
starters.
think-
There's Jack Leiter and another guy.
Yeah, they
Just
just
for the Mets.
got
Yeah.
someone in the
I
draft.
think
Yep.
the
That's
AL
gonna be good.
West
Come.
kind of like stayed where they
Rangers
were,
gonna be good.
other than
Yep.
the Rangers.
Yep.
Rangers just made a
Rangers
good deal.
went
Just keep
above the
going.
Angels, and that's it.
Yeah, everyone else just kind of mildly improved and did
So-
what they could to fill holes from last year.
Astros, Mariners, Rangers, Angels, A's. Sick.
But yeah, I like the AL West. I think they had a pretty good offseason.
The Royals
yeah.
didn't do anything.
The Royals, yeah, they
Nothing.
They signed. I think that's a
Who?
relief pitcher or something.
Never heard of her.
Or a position player, but
Yeah.
the Royals basically got worse because they lost Benintendi, who at least like did something, even if he was not the best.
I don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing, man. Let's move into a different topic now. Well,
Yep.
it's not entirely a different topic. We're going to talk about the competitive balance tax.
Yeah.
Players just got paid, like big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that an issue?
I don't know.
Should there be a salary cap? Should the competitive balance tax be harsher so that teams can't spend $8 billion on Aaron Judge?
I think it would definitely make it a lot
my
more
goodness.
competitive. You don't have teams like the A's consistently tanking every single year. So that's definitely a positive. But also, like, it's been like in baseball's history, always just just a lot of spending, no salary cap. So
The Mets payroll right now is $340 million.
Jesus.
With CBT, it's at 421 so far, which is close to half a billion.
Yeah.
About.
That's crazy.
I saw a post that said it's higher than some GDPs of countries.
It is, yeah.
So, the Mets, to say it shortly, the Mets are paying a lot of money
To lose.
to
Yeah, to lose.
to not win the division. So
Yeah, they won one of the division.
So I think that it's pretty high, and you can maybe argue it needs to be a little higher, so that half a billion isn't like nearly spent every single time. But like, I think what's more important would be I think a floor needs to start to be instituted, because I don't want to see the A's do A's things.
So that's
every
what
year.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen arguments on these various circles, especially on Twitter. People are like, things are getting ridiculous. Like, players are being paid way too much. The free agency market was not, like, small market teams couldn't even compete this off season.
Right.
This and that, and that's not true.
Yeah.
Baseball
That's
teams
true.
make a lot of money. I already said that earlier today. The A's are not a small market team. They are in the city of Oakland in the Bay Area.
Yep.
They have so many fans. Sorry, they don't. They have no fans. But the A's did and could have so many fans if they tried.
I mean, think about it.
Literally.
When you saw them, like, when they like actually were doing things, like there were fans at the game,
2019,
and
yeah.
people liked to watch their A's.
2020, yep.
And back when they were in the postseason, like even a while ago, the A's fans were there, and they like enjoyed the
Showed
win
out.
streaks and everything, and it was amazing. And now
Owners
there's
greedy,
3,000 fans.
didn't build a new,
Terrible.
didn't renovate the stadium. I mean, there's all these problems with the Coliseum.
So bad.
They're not paying any players.
Yeah.
They have the lowest
I mean-
payroll in baseball, and they're based in the city of Oakland. So
The average like fans that appear to those games like is a little under the amount of kids that go to my college. So
it's
Yeah.
I think
absolute
something needs to change.
Terrible.
insanity.
I think a floor would be great. I know the owners, like I know it's gonna cost a lot, but you're like an MLB owner, like,
Right?
You have a
You
lot
can
of money
afford.
because you're paying
That's
like,
what-
so many people.
There's a quote where Rob Manfred said something like, "Owning a baseball team is not a profitable business." And Artie Moreno is about to sell the Angels for $3 billion.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
Yeah, no, it's a high money game, and you're only playing if you're a high money.
if
human
you're really
being.
making a sacrifice like that, if running a baseball team is really such a sacrifice, then give me the Angels.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
But,
it's like not money related. Then why can't I buy the Angels?
Right.
Like,
That's what
like
I'm saying.
there's
Like,
clearly a money issue where like you need to have a lot of money to own the team, and if you have a lot of money, then there should be
and teams would
floor
only be
because-
worth money if they would collect revenue for the owners.
yeah, exactly. So there needs to be some sort of floor, because I'm sure the Mets like go out and spend all you want. I don't care. Your team's really good, but like the A's, like the Astros and the A's, that's the most like uncompetitive thing ever. And, like,
Sucks, yeah.
I just don't want to see it, man. It's so boring. See like those A's Tigers games, like what?
Yeah, snooze fest.
Literally 3 people have that on
Those were the
TV.
strangest things. And then Oakland had a home game in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
uh-huh.
That
I
was
just-
Whack.
I don't get it, man. There needs to be some sort of floor if we're going to start like
Mm-hmm.
talking about that whole thing, because a higher ceiling or like a lower ceiling is not really like gonna do much, man. Cohen's
Yeah.
still just he's rich. He's just gonna spend
Yeah.
more, bro.
I think that's
It's a
the
fat
issue.
cat.
Like
And then what? You just give that money to the A's, and then they continue to spend less. Like
Yeah.
that's all you do when
That's
you lower
exactly
the
what
CBT.
happens.
So that just encourages.
And I mean, even a
Good
hard
teams.
salary cap wouldn't increase.
It
Like
wouldn't. It would just limit the spending.
every year the A's spend less money. So even if there's a hard salary cap, the A's are still gonna try to spend as little money as possible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That goes for teams like the Royals and all those other small market teams.
Mm-hmm. You know how it is. Daddy Cohen paying a lot.
Yeah, so I don't think the CBT is an issue. I don't think
No.
it's like a. I don't think it's a relevant talking point. I think people who say that the CBT needs to be harsher or that there needs to be a salary cap are stupid
Yeah.
with the way that baseball works. Like, I get it in football because of the way that quarterbacks can straight up just carry teams, but
Yeah.
there's not a single
Mhm.
player in baseball that can carry a team. I mean, that's why people.
It's such a team sport.
You get an at bat one every nine people, so that's.
Yeah.
No one can carry.
Everyone's equally as important on that team.
Speaking of owners and money, 2 teams are being sold, and the Angels will get sold first because they are more valuable. I think that's a fact that everyone
Yeah.
agrees on.
I agree.
Bob Nightingale, most trustworthy source in history maybe, on October 20th, said that the Los Angeles Angels will be sold for at least $3 billion, a record price for baseball franchises. Negotiations are expected to be brisk and consummated within the next few months. That's in October. So we're reaching the 3rd month.
So
Yeah.
we should be
So
coming upon something.
pretty much
Something
there.
should be coming up. That means Angels could be sold before the next season.
Right.
It
And
should happen.
on December 6th, Bob Nightingale was at the winter meetings.
Right.
And he sent out a tweet.
What does it
It's
say?
not loading. Hold on. This is the
He
benefit of
deleted
being
that
on my
tweet.
phone.
So
He didn't delete the tweet. It's just in it. It's just within an article.
we're just gonna.
Angels
guess.
are hoping to be sold before opening day. Rob Manfred
Okay.
says.
So they'll accelerate things to try and get things a little moving.
That's a
Yes.
nudge, I'm sure. Get
Yeah.
your stuff
Hey.
together.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sell the team, please.
Elon Musk. Step on
Elon
it.
Musk buying the Angels for sure.
Please.
I think if the Angels get sold before the season starts, it would be an owner who's interested in the team.
You would hope so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
an owner doesn't want to accelerate a new potential owner would not want to accelerate the purchasing right now because they would have to pay more.
Yeah.
If they wait, if the sale waits 1 year, then Otani's not on the team anymore, and the value's way down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the guy paying a lot definitely wants a lot out of the Angels. I think they attract, like you said, like someone more interested and a bigger spender.
Like a Mets
Yeah.
kind of deal. I think
Yeah,
we're
clo-
analogous to the Mets. We're the
close to
second
that.
LA team. The Mets are the second New
Yeah,
York team.
I mean you're in
Makes
South Orange,
sense.
you're in Orange County, dude, and you know like it's a high market
Expensive.
area.
We're like in the top
So-
10 most valuable sports franchises.
Really?
Yeah,
Something
makes
like that. It's
No, that makes
wild.
sense.
Huh.
You were owned by Disney a little bit ago, like
Yeah.
Yeah, and then-
it makes sense.
Kind of got bankrupt.
So
then,
yeah, that's facts. But like you know the kind of people that the Angels attract, like the freaking like Mickey Mouse himself,
Yep.
like.
Mickey Mouse
Walt
team.
Disney buys yeah.
But yeah, you got players like Trout, Honey, and all these like good guys who like someone who sees that's like, oh, we just got to build around that. And
The
that's just to
2002
attract
World
people.
Series was the real Mickey Mouse World
That's
Series.
so bad. Yeah, I think someone sees this team and sees like potential in it, and they want to fix it up rather than the Nats. They just see like a pile of dust.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, something to own because there's nothing.
We
there,
won the World
you know?
Series 3 years ago.
Like, what-
Sick.
What did the Nats
Yeah.
own? Like literally nothing.
Man, the Nets won the World Series 3 years ago.
It's crazy.
So
What
weird, bro.
happened?
Every single one of those players is on like a different
They're
team by now.
awful.
Other
That's
than like
crazy.
Strasburg.
Dude,
The
speaking
very
of
next year
that,
Yeah.
sucked.
the first team I ever followed really closely was the 2014-2015 Royals.
Yeah.
And Eric Hosmer just got DFA'd. And
Yep.
Salvador Perez is like 1 season away from retiring.
Yeah.
The guys are old
It's
now.
all gone at this point, bro.
The dream is dead.
Mm-hmm.
The
Tell me
Nationals
about it.
cannot get sold until the Angels sale is completed and
Yeah.
finalized. Like, there's
Just
no one's
makes
gonna
sense.
move for a less valuable team while that's going on.
Yeah, if someone's like, I want to buy an OB team, and they see 2 options, they're gonna be like,
The Angels.
which one do I want?
Which one do I want?
Oh,
The most valuable.
The red team. Yeah.
Yeah, you want the bright red team.
Yeah, you don't want the Nats right now.
You want the Nats 5 years ago, though.
True.
You did want the Nats a little bit ago.
But they weren't selling then, so they missed out on a couple million.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Couple bajillion.
I think that's all we got this episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Dodgers.
Oh, you guys want to talk about the Dodgers? We
Let's
can
do
talk
it.
about
5
the
minutes.
Dodgers.
5
Yeah,
hours.
here's my Dodgers recap real quick, just to let you guys know. I'm bringing it back.
I see Otani with a question mark, and that's a lie. Otani will
Hey,
be.
it's a question mark for a reason.
Otani with an exclamation
Otani
point.
will
It's gonna
stay
happen.
on the Angels
be
until he's an
a-
unrestricted free agent, and the Angels will get nothing in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
what
the
I'm saying.
Dodgers can pay him $800 million annual average
The
value.
Dodgers
'cause that's
wouldn't
what he's
trade
worth.
for someone when they can just get them in a few months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll keep all of our
'Cause
prospects who are all going to be
so
Cy
the
Young
Dodgers.
winners.
I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, the viewers, but if you pull up like
The
the
three
Dodgers
viewers.
trades, yeah, all three of you guys, pull up the Dodgers
All zero
like,
now that
moves
we've had
right
a month
now,
break.
and like sure money is spent, but like you'll see the number 1 a lot in front of the years, because they literally won't sign anyone past that year. 2024 is like the most open thing ever,
So
and-
free.
especially with a lot of these players that they lost, like almost like 7 out of 8 of the players. Like Kershaw was probably the only one that was retained. And you're probably like what the hell as a Dodger fan, because you're like very upset. Especially with like players like JT and like Cody that like mean a lot to the team. You're like literally like, what is happening? Do we just not care? Or, like, what? Sell me tomorrow or something? Like you just don't get it. And then 1 year you just think maybe something's cooking, because you know the Dodgers are just not gonna not spend.
The Dodgers are always cooking.
Yep.
So I think this is like, because we always see Freeman. Freeman's like always got something going, and it's hella quiet, and then he just shows up like, oh, I got Mookie Betts. It's
Yeah,
like
literally.
it's like when someone leaves and you're like, where are they? Where have they
Yeah.
been? And they come back
Oh
with
yeah,
like
I got
a
this.
golden nugget, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I love you.
Literally.
So, and you see everyone else with all these golden nuggets. So he's obviously something. He doesn't just sit and do nothing. He's like one of the best
You would hope so.
GMs.
Yeah.
He's not a GM, but you know, like we're considering him a GM. He's like one of the best in the business.
Baseball minds.
Yeah, and
Watch us get Rafael
something's
Devers.
happening, and I think this
That
is
would be
just
crazy.
a elongated
Could happen.
version of those. Like like it takes a few months, and all of a sudden, poof, something happens. I think this is like a 1 to 2 year plan of like some player that he wants to get, and he's just kind of like
I hope so.
setting things in motion and doing what he can so that he can make the move. And I think that's what all the money getting off for. And I also think it's things like Arias. Like, do you want to see him go? No, he's a free agent like very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to pay him? Yeah. Okay, well then save up some money, you know.
Yeah.
So like that. Bueller is a free agent in 2024.
Wow.
Like, do
Gotta
you want
resign
him?
him.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
you're gonna have to save some money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to like get rid of the things like Cody Bellinger, useless. He like
Don't need to sign him.
defense only.
Yep.
JT gonna be old soon. Bye.
Gone.
Like, but what can we get? Arias, who's gonna be really good for the next few years. I love that. Bueller, he's gonna be really good for the next few years. Like they're trying to allocate the money smartly, and I think it might hurt to rip these band-aids of like your hometown heroes and all that.
It sucks, but
But
it's got to be done.
You kind of got to move on, and if you want your team to win, and not be the Giants where you just hold on to like these 40-year-old men and hope that your team's good when they're all 500,
Yeah.
then you got to kind of move on. You turn to these other guys. So I think that's why they're kind of pushing away what hurts, and they're signing what they should do. And I think some deals will be coming. Maybe not even this offseason, but very soon.
So yeah.
Just gotta hold in there.
Yeah.
And that Bauer money is gone also, so
Mhm.
even more funds.
He's either gonna play or he'll
I'm
be just gone
not counting
next
on
year.
it.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
something will happen with Bauer soon. He's not
When
just
is
gonna be
his
sitting there.
suspension over?
Like 2 more years,
I think in a year, because he served the 1 year, right?
Yikes.
And by then,
I thought it was a 3-year.
What do you mean? His suspension was 2 years.
suspension. Oh, it was?
It was
Oh.
2 years, and he's trying to appeal it. Well, it's
Okay.
gonna get longer as he appeals.
Yeah.
You know what? We missed
took
something.
two-
You get
yeah.
3 years now. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. But yeah, people have been naming Otani a lot since he's like probably going to be one of the biggest free agents if he makes the free agent market.
He might be the biggest free agent ever.
That too.
Could be.
It's like Babe Ruth going on the
Yeah.
free agent market.
Actually.
Like, oh, what? Okay, I'm gonna fight for him. Yeah, like Judge was. You thought Judge was a big free agent, like competitiveness right there. Like, wait till you see Otani, dude. It's gonna be insane because that man is basically, like, in some people's opinions, a back-to-back MVP and
Should have been.
literally insane.
Yeah,
this man's
maybe.
gonna get. Like he does like 30 million for his offense and 30 million for his pitching in terms of like revenue, like value. Like he's gonna be paid so much.
Yeah.
So
Dude, he's gonna get 60 million a year annual average.
60 million.
literally, he hits like as
30
good as,
million a pitch, 30 million.
hits as good as Harper
Yeah,
and pitches
yeah.
as good as like some of the best pitchers.
Oh
out
my
there.
lord,
know.
that's insane.
And Judge got 40 million.
How old is he?
And he plays for the Angels.
Yeah, literally. He's pretty young, right? Like
He's-
27.
Yeah, he's definitely not old.
28.
28. Okay.
Called it. He's
Wow.
played a few years.
Sick. He has,
Japan.
yeah.
And he had Tommy John, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
He
the
should have
Dodgers.
went to the Dodgers when he was.
Yeah, they
an
actually did
international free
pursue
agent.
him, but
So mad. Yeah.
he was just kind of
The
weird.
Dodgers
Didn't
weren't gonna
go.
let him hit and pitch, and so we didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
True, but now
Now
it's a little different because DHs are everywhere.
Because
So,
Ohtani is the greatest player to ever play the game of baseball.
that's fact.
I think that'll conclude our episode.
That will conclude
cool
it.
beans.
We'll
Yeah,
see you
that was
guys
good.
in a month, roughly, give or
Yep.
take. So
Yep.
sometime in January. Maybe we'll do it when
We'll
I
all be on
get back.
screens.
When we'll,
Sick.
when
Actually,
we'll
we
be
can do
on
it.
screens.
We can do it in person,
Yeah, but then I'd have to do this again.
and we'll figure it out.
Okay. We will
Cool
see
beans.
you all in the next episode in a month.
You're.